Hello everyone, the Keitora is here. Or, if you're watching this instantly, it'll be out in less than 10 hours. This is a car I think everyone's been waiting for, and it's finally coming out. Now, I've learned a lot about this vehicle through owning it, thanks to Redwater for helping me get the car, as this does have a lot of unique features. First of all, when you get out of the car and in, you can just see the car bob and suspension travel, which carries through when you're driving it as well. This is why I want to keep it on the highest suspension, just so you can see the suspension work, and it is funny to drive like that. But there are a lot more quirky features. First of all, look at the size of your character inside there, and second of all, even on the closest camera setting, the car does feel like it's quite far away. Now the camera is quite far away, but the car's also small as well, and then you can get it really far away. Like, this seems like the camera angle of a semi-truck, but on a Keitora. Let's get inside and customize this thing and show you the more unique features about this car as well if you've not seen them. And when you get into LS Customs, you can see the proportions of my character. You can see how big your character is, and that is because it is that small. But front bumpers, we have a few front bumper options, and it's nice to see a few front bumper options. It does have the same options again with splitters, with the carbon splitter. There is a few, and I think a lot of people want to see this vehicle fully modified. We have rear steps, rear diffusers, which is crazy, but this works with the drift version, which will be an option. You can drift upgrade this thing, and I'll show a little clip of me drifting at the end because it's an interesting drift vehicle as well. There are quite a few diffusers, crazy diffusers as well. Like it started off subtle with a step, and then you just went crazy after that. It's quite a strange vehicle overall, and we haven't even got into the crazy parts yet. So we've got exhaust pipes, and these exhaust pipes, I've said it before, they hover down too low. So if you don't have one of the diffusers, even if you did, to be fair, if you had one of the diffusers, these exhausts don't look correct on the diffuser. They still look a bit too stock. So I like to go for the side exits. They just look a lot more natural. Let's put that step on there because I did say I was going to modify this thing. Headlight covers, we have a few colored headlights, and as well as that, we do have little eyelids as well in the same color format. Grille, so this is where it gets a bit interesting. You can have bars, you can have tow hooks, you can have fog lights, you can have coolers, you can have all of them together, which is a cool option. It's not that unique. You do see these options on different vehicles, but to have it on a Keitora, it's nice to have all those options together. Totally not illegal option. It's just covering your number plate with the fog lights. We have a few liveries, and we have that cool four-wheel drive livery, just like the actual K-Truck does in real life, the Suzuki carry. So that is a nice option to see. And we have that same four-wheel drive. Yeah, we have quite a few options that keeps that badge on there. So all these options keep that badge on there, and they're all subtle as well, and they're weirdly subtle for how much you can modify this thing. But of course, you do have some liveries that are a bit more abstract, but still, then everything but the last one is not that extreme compared to the other modifications. Roof accessories, you've got the horns, you got lights, extra lights, and you've got these options that don't look that fitting until you see the other options of the bed changes. And yeah, so they have these atomic, flint, and sprunk, and stance roof extensions. But we'll come back to these modifications later on. For now, I'll add the sprunk one just to show you the truck bed options that we have. And as you can see, you've got a sprunk bed, but you have a better sprunk one. You have one to go with the atomic tires, and you do have better options of these, which is shown now. You have a massive sprunk cup, and this is, I don't know, this is what makes this vehicle super unique. There's no other vehicle that comes close to this type of modification. You have delivery boxes, you have a reinforced, which is not as unique as the other options. You have tires, you have reinforced and tires, and then you've got, yeah, you've got everything from nitrous to fuel tank to everything. And then you have the next option, which is the same without the bed. And then we have another option, which is literally, yeah, there's nothing left. So you do have quite a few different options that are very, very unique. There's a lot of work that's been put into this vehicle. Even though they have a lot of options, I'm going to go with that sprunk cup. But even though this vehicle, I don't know, it's a vehicle that's 810,000, just a little memeable vehicle, and there's so much attention to detail that's been put on this car, which does get you questioning quite a lot. So let's go back to roof accessories. And I think we'll go with the horns. I think the horns are quite, they look funky on this car. Skirts, we've got the side steps, and we've got the actual kit, which I will go for. And yeah, we've got a carbon or lip. Oh, actually, that's a plastic lip, not a carbon lip, which is strange. I would have thought they would have added a carbon version as well, but we're going to go with that sporty side panel. Sunstrip. Sunstrip is funny because once you put the sunstrip on, you can see my character's head is just half covered. And you're probably thinking, that's not great, Hello. You probably can't see out the window. Yeah, you can hardly see out, and that's something that Redwater also pointed out to me, that you can't even see outside your own vehicle. So we're going to put that on. We're going to put one of these on for the fun of it. And then you've got suspension options, which I didn't say I was going to put on, but I think I want to see how much suspension travel there is when it's lowered as well. But you can see even less when the suspension's fully down. I'm going to keep the stock wheels. Everyone knows which wheels are available, so let's drive this thing. So let's see how much you can see in a first person. Absolutely nothing. Near enough. Yeah, near enough for nothing. Even if you press, oh, when you press X, it's fine. When you're ducking down, it is absolutely fine. And when you don't duck down, it looks like this. So you kind of have to have fast reactions, because when you see a car in front of you, you'll have to turn instantly. We'll try. Oh, that was all. Okay, that wasn't luck. I was going to say that was a luck. I avoided that car, but I didn't avoid that pole. So yeah, I have to base it off the reflections on the floor here in the rain. And yeah, if you like driving in first person and you don't want to see, you can have this sunstrip option, any of the sunstrip options. But yeah, this vehicle is funny to drive. I think it still does have the same, yeah, it does have very similar suspension travel. It gets a bit weird and funky when you get in and out of it, because the wheel does go through the arches a slight bit, but it still does have the same amount of suspension travel. It seems to be stiffer. So yeah, that's why I say I was going to keep it stock at the height, but clearly I didn't. And yeah, this also has a drift version, which I'll be showing you now. Here is the drift version, and it does have a few subtle differences, like the roll cage, the little stick-on arches, but drifting this vehicle in comparison to other drift cars, it is quite slow. It's not the fastest drift car, and nor should it be. The vehicle itself is not that fast, but it is a fun thing to drive. If you're used to drifting cars that have a lot of power on the slide for a long time, you're going to find this one a bit different. My thoughts, the car's worth it. It's one of the most unique vehicles in the game. 810,000. It's definitely a buy for me. I appreciate everyone watching. See you guys in the next one.